Welcome back to another review by Mega Train Lower. Today we're having a look at a new Hornby locomotive, as you can see, and you can probably tell from the picture on the box. If you just bring the box closer to the camera, you can tell that this is a tank engine, and to be more specific, it's a ex-LNER J50 060 tank engine. If we turn to the side, you can see the product code is R3407, and this particular one is number 68959, and it's in British Railways black with the early emblem. Now, I got this from my local model shop, which is Jane's Trains in Tooting, and they're currently having a sale as their shop is celebrating 40th anniversary this month. So I got this at a very reasonable price of £70, which, as you'll see, the detail on this engine is really good. Now, a bit of history about the J50. So there were 102 locomotives built in total between 1922 and 1939, and they were categorised into 4 different subclasses depending on the type of brakes. So some of them were built with vacuum brakes, some of them only had steam brakes, also depending on the boilers, the driving position. Some of them were left-hand drive, others were right-hand drive, and also the size of the bunkers. They were used primarily for shunting and also local freight work as well, and they were based all over the East Coast Main Line and even as far north as Scotland. Now, all of them passed into BR ownership. Withdrawals began in 1958, and the last to go in normal service was in 1963, although 6 went into departmental use, of which the last one was withdrawn in 1965, and sadly none of these have been preserved, which is a real shame given how just lovely this locomotive looks. And if we turn to the back of the box, you can see it has a power classification of 4F, which for a 060 tank engine is very powerful, and you can see you get quite a bit of information on the class. And this particular example was number 68959, was built in 1926, and it was withdrawn in 1961 and being cut up at Doncaster Works, the same place where these were built. Most of these were built at Doncaster, though some of them were built at Gorton Works in Manchester. Anyway, the locomotive is not in the box. I've taken it out, given it a run-in. I've DCC'd it as well. One thing which I must point out, if you are going to fit a decoder to this engine, you need to, depending on what type, if you're using a standard Hornby decoder, you need to remove one of the weights from the side tanks. There are instructions on how to do so, and basically you have to remove it in order to accommodate a decoder. There are some, I think there's the Hatton's direct plug decoder which can fit in without needing to remove a weight. Because I had a spare Hornby decoder, that's what I've done. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the box to one side, and the locomotive is right here. Wow. Wow, just look at that. Now, first thing I should point out, as I always do in these reviews, the light at the front, I've added that myself. It doesn't actually come with the detail pack. I just bought it basically, just to add a bit more realism. But I mean, just look at this engine. Look how, for its size, it's very well detailed. If it camera focuses, there we go. First thing I must point out, despite its size, it is very heavy. There is a lot of weight in this for traction, which is really good. But wow, I mean, there's all this separately fitted detail, such as the lamp irons. You do get sprung buffers, and you even get, one thing which I really like is how they've modelled the reversing rod within the side tanks. That's a really nice touch. I mean, I do love this design where, the side tanks don't just stop sort of here, they sort of carry on in a sloping form up at the front. I think that was such a distinctive feature on these engines. You get all the separately fitted handrails. You get the safety valve and whistle, which look okay. I mean, they do. Yeah, especially that whistle. I think the whistle is plastic, but it does look quite nice. I don't think the cab roof vent opens. No, it doesn't. But that's fine. Just look at. I mean, you can see the wheels as well. See the injector pipes. If the camera, I don't know, it's having trouble to focus today. There we go. There's its BR number, 68959. Here's the front, where the number is also visible. I do quite like how this handrail at the front is sort of bent upwards, and that was in real life. It wasn't just this model, you know, any sort of manufacturing issue. It was like genuinely like that. It was sort of bent. Some of the LNER engines had straight handrails, others had a more sort of curved handrail on the front of the smoke box. You even get these little steps to gain access to the top of the tanks. Yeah, get a builder's plate there, which is legible. I do believe that does say. Let me just check. Yep, that does say Doncaster Works. But yeah, excuse my fingerprints. Just going to wipe them off. But yeah, I mean, it's just a fantastically well detailed model. You get injector pipes there as well, all separately fitted. And just look at the cab. I mean, you can't really see much because it is enclosed, but if we just take a look, there we go. So you can clearly see the regulator. But you can also see other detailing such as the pipework. Although, as I say, because it is enclosed, it's a bit hard to see, but all the detail which is required is pretty much there. And and for a fact that the cab is so enclosed that they've done that is a really, really nice touch. Here's the coal bunker with the coal, which is actually removable, so if you want to fit your own, then you can do so. Here's the back of the engine. This one seems to have extra lamp irons, so rather than having the usual 4, it seems to have 6 of. I think it's got it's got 6 lamp irons. I wonder what the extra 2 lamp irons are for, because it seems to have them at the front as well. One thing which I have noticed, this must be an example without vacuum brakes, because there are no brake pipes. There's no hole in the buffer beam to fit one, and no brake pipes came with the detail pack. So yeah, so the ones with steam brakes, they couldn't be used with passenger stock, because obviously passenger coaches need to be braked as they are significantly heavier than wagons, whereas unfitted wagons, they didn't need vacuum brakes because, well, they were unfitted. So yeah, but I mean, all in all, it's just an absolutely stunning looking engine. Very, very nice early emblem there. Now the livery is obviously quite basic, but that's nothing to do with the model. That's just how the livery was, although it does look very, very nice all the same. But yeah, I mean, all in all, it's just a fantastic model. It looks slightly old-fashioned with this huge dome, despite the fact that this design was from the 20s and the 30s. But yeah, no, it looks very, very nice. And these were designed by Sir Nigel Gresley, who became the CME of the. He was the CME of the Great Northern Railway, and then he became the CME of the LNER, of course. But yeah, on the back you get sprung buffers, and you do get NEM couplings as standard. So yeah, I mean, all in all, it's just a fantastic looking engine. However, looks may be one thing. Let's see how she performs. So here we have the Hornby J50 on the track, and I'm just going to put her number in, which in my case is number 62, and wow, she does look really, really nice. I mean, it's just such a lovely little tank engine. But anyway, let's give her some power, and there she goes. And away she goes. Wow. Running very well. It's a little bit noisy. Just guessing the motor needs a little bit more running in, but otherwise, really, really nice. Let's see a few shots of her passing. So yeah, one thing which I do like about this model is how it does have a flywheel, which is always a really, really nice touch. But yeah, overall I am very, very impressed with this model. Oh dear, I think there's a slightly bad split there. It's fine. Yeah, just as I said that. But no, overall, very, very impressive model. I'm really, really pleased with it. So just to conclude this video, I definitely recommend her, especially if you are an Eastern region modeler, she is highly recommended. Or if you just like steam engines in general. If you can get it at a really good price, and they are at really, really good prices at the moment, then just get her. She's a really, really nice model. Thanks very much for watching, and see you in the next review. Goodbye.